Hi! Let's take a look at the equation x squared plus 12x plus 7 is equal to 0. We have a quadratic equation on the left-hand side. It's equal to 0 on the right-hand side. So to solve this, we should try to factor it first. However, the only way to break down 7 is just like 7 times 1. But then 7 plus 1 is not equal to 12, right? So in fact, this is not factorable. So right now, we should think about a different approach to solve an equation in a quadratic equation when it's not factorable. Okay? Factoring is supposed to be the easiest method to solve quadratic equation, but it may not always work, and this is one of the examples. So we are going to see the method called the completing the square. Okay, completing a square. And again, you can find this and along with the examples in the description. So this is the method that you just take the sequence of few steps, or maybe 2 steps actually. Okay? If you do this two, you can actually force the equation to be something that's actually factorable on the left-hand side. Let's see how it works. First step, I need to have x squared plus bx on the left-hand side. X squared plus bx only. Okay? And let's see. Originally we have x squared, so that matches with that x squared. Plus 12x, so this 12x will be the bx. But then I just want this 2 on the left hand side. So let's move the 7 to the right. We can do that by minus 7 on both sides of the equation. And then we get x squared and then plus 12x, just bring this down. And let me leave the space on purpose for now. And then 0 minus 7 will be negative 7. Okay? So we have x squared plus bx. It's equal to negative 7. Now, the reason that we're doing this is that you can think about earlier, this equation was not factorable because 7 is a bad number. If this 7 was equal to 20, things will be much easier. And this is something that will be actually factorable. Okay? Since 7 is a bad number, so let's just not look at 7 right here. Let's move the 7 to the right hand side to become negative 7. But then we want to think about how can we fix the left hand side so that the left hand side is something that's actually factorable. And then maybe even better, I want to make the left hand side something to the second power. And then we are going to think about what to add. That magic number is this. That's the second step. We are going to add 1/2 times b and then take the result of that square. I want to take that number, I want to add a number on both sides. So now in our situation here, the b in our case is 12. It's 12. So let's make a note. b is equal to 12. Okay? So then I need to figure out what number I need to add so that I can make this equation much better. The number is, I need to take 1/2 and just do it on the side, on the scratch paper. Take 1/2, put it in the parentheses, and then put 12 right here, and then put that in the parentheses, square that. Okay? And let's figure out what this number is. 1/2 times 12, let's look at the 12 as 12 over 1. 2 goes into 2 ones, 2 goes into 12, 6 times. And then we have parentheses, we have the 6. So it's just 6 squared. And of course, that's just 36. So this is a number that we are going to add on both sides. We are going to add 36 on both sides. So here, that's why I purposely left the empty spot here. I'm going to add 36 here. I'm going to add 36 right over there. Okay. And then let's take a look at this. X squared plus 12x plus 36. After I have this 36, let's try to factor this again. And the result of that is actually just x and x. And to get 36, well, one way to do it is plus 36 and plus 30. Plus 6 and plus 6. 6 times 6 will give you 36. And then 6 plus 6 is positive 12, right? So this is just one way to look at it. And then we did it. This side is actually factorable. But even better, it's actually always the case. This side, the left hand side, we can always factor the left-hand side to be something inside to the second power. And this is a perfect square. Okay, this is the perfect square. So x plus 6 times x plus 6, we can just write that as parentheses x plus 6 raised to the second power. Okay? So then you see this as advertised, it's always going to be factorable. Even better, it's always going to be the two same factor. So you can write that as x plus 6 parentheses to the second power. And then negative 7 plus 36, that's equal to 29. That's equal to 29. Okay? So then now we have x plus 6 to the second power is equal to 29. How do we solve this? Well, now the case is that we are going to solve the something inside square is equal to a number. Then that's a situation when we take the square root of both sides. Whenever you see something inside of the parentheses to the second power is equal to a number, what you want to do is you want to take the square root on both sides. And let's do that, so that way we can finish it. So that's why this method will actually work, because it forces the question to become something that's much easier to solve. Okay? Something that we actually already know how to do. So x plus 6 squared, take the square root here, take the square root there, don't forget the plus minus sign on the number. And then to finish this up, the square and square root cancels, so I just get, let me show you guys the cancellation. I just get the first number, x plus 6, it's equal to, here we have square root of 29, and square root of 29, it's not a nice number, right? We cannot simplify square root of 29, and it's not ending up with a nice number. So what we can do is, we can just write a plus minus, maintain that sign, and then maintain that square root of 29. Okay? This means that x plus 6, we have two possibilities, positive square root of 29 or negative square root of 29. Okay? And then to finish this up, we always want to isolate x whenever it says solve for x. I need to subtract the 6 on both sides. So these two cancels. I get x equals to negative 6 plus minus square root of 29. Square root of 29. Okay. And this will be the answer. And we should be happy to see a square root of like something that we cannot actually do, because square root of 29, if this is something that we cannot simplify, guess what? We are just going to leave the answer like that, unless you want to use a calculator to figure out what square root of 29 is. The 5 point something. Okay. So again, completing a square, you go through these steps. You want x squared plus bx on one side, on the left hand side, and then you want to add 1/2 times b, but take the result squared on both sides. And then if you just do this two, the third step, you will notice that the left hand side will be always factorable. The left hand side is always going to be factorable into a perfect square, something inside raised to the second power. And with these two together, we can get something inside square to a number. Then to finish this up, we have to take the square root of both sides, and so it's like kind of like a combination of these two steps. Again, it's in the descriptions. Feel free to use it and let me know what to do. And then more example is coming to the next in the next video.